Hey, good morning. We are starting our journey from Fontana Village, headed out to the trail, and we'll be heading into the Great Smoky Mountains today. So stick around, see what we get into. All right, so as I said, we are headed into the Great Smoky Mountain National Park today. I've got my permit, all that squared away. We have planned for about 8.5 miles today to start off. We've heard that the climb out of Fontana area is one of the most difficult in the first 200 miles of the trail. So we'll keep that in mind and plan for the 8.5 miles and see how we feel. Problem is, when you're in the Great Smoky Mountains, you have to stay in a shelter if there's space as a through hiker. So you have to stay in a shelter. So there's one campsite, it's the first sleeping option that you get to when you get into the Smokies, and that's the 8.5 mile day. That is allowed in this case. The problem is the next shelter is 6 more miles, which will be a 14.5 mile day, which we feel is pretty aggressive, given the terrain that we think we're going to be facing, things like that. So that's kind of the plan as it starts. We're fixing to check out of here, had a beautiful stay. Feel more rested, the muscles are feeling a little bit better. All of our laundry's caught up. All of our electronics are charged. We anticipate being in the Smokies for at least 6 days. That's the current plan anyway. And we'll just go from there. So yeah, join along. All right, so we're actually standing on Fontana Dam, getting close to 2 miles in on the day, and a little bit of a detour there because of some road construction, but wasn't much at all. So this is essentially what we're climbing today. It may not look like much from here, but like I said, we hear some of the roughest climbs in the first 200 miles. But way up there, and you can zoom in far enough, is a tower at the very tippy top, and we're going past that today. So we're definitely going up all of that. So I'm getting left behind, but beautiful, beautiful lake. Just magnificent. There's the Smoky Mountains. We should be entering them anytime. Alrighty, so update, plans have changed a little bit. So we originally had planned on stopping at the campsite, which was about 8.4 miles in on the day. We had done a little digging on far out and saw kind of the climbs and the elevation we were facing today, and we received a little fear mongering, they call it on trail, from some people who were talking about it and how hard it's going to be. So anyway, we set our sights on that kind of shorter day. When we got out here, you know, we made it to 8.4 miles up to the campsite, and it was 1 o'clock. So we did 8.4 miles in just over 3 hours with, I'm here to tell you, pretty mean climbs. So plan B is to continue, which we're doing now, up to Mollie's Ridge Shelter, which is another 5.5 miles. As I said earlier, here in the Great Smoky Mountain Park, you have to sleep in a shelter until it's at capacity. Once the shelter's at capacity, and each one is marked, once it's at capacity, a thru hiker, someone who is thru hiking, can then pitch a tent outside the shelter. But you have to get that shelter to capacity before you pitch a tent. So anyway, I won't go too far in the weeds on that. Sorry for the wind noise. There's also some other rules in there for people that are just section or day, you know, overnight packing or whatever, backpacking. They can actually sign up and pay for a space in the shelter. And thru hikers at that point, if it's almost full, would need to vacate to let those people actually have first go at the shelter. So anyway, again, I won't get in too much deeper, but there's definitely some rules in terms of shelter use out here in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. So that's the plan. Beautiful day, feeling good, and we got somewhere just under 5 miles to go probably, so we'll update you soon. All right, so we are officially entering the Smokies, and the drop box for the permit is right here. AT Thru Hikers deposit permits here. So bad photography here, but there, and the thing is loaded, it looks like. So the bottom half of your permit in there, and you keep the top half on you. And when you exit Smokies on the other side, you'll see one of these boxes, and you put the top half in that box. So like I said, I anticipate this is going to take us roughly 6 days to get through. That's kind of the current plan. As I said, it's pretty aggressive today, at least it seems. So we're going to try and take our time and get to this first campsite and see what we can find. So we'll take you along. But this is the official day, first day of entering the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. So we're fixing to head out. So about 3 miles from Mollie's Ridge Shelter, and took a little break here, and looks like the smoke from the fire is, I realize you might not be able to see it very well through the trees, but I sure can. I can't tell, looks like it's coming closer this way, but who knows. You kind of see it out there, but where I'm sitting right now, I'm looking at it, and the wind is coming from my back, so it kind of makes it hard to believe it's coming this way, but never know. Hello, Blue. All right, so we made it to Mollie's Ridge Shelter, which you can see behind me. There's some people inside setting up, so I'm just going to do some outside footage. So, like I said, we're in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, so there's regulations on having to sleep in the shelters and such. This is a really nice shelter. For those nights or mornings when it gets real cold, it actually has a real nice tarp along the whole front of it, where it's normally wide open, so that'll help kind of keep the warmth inside a little bit and keep the wind from swirling inside. So it's got a nice metal roof. You can see up top there it has a chimney. So there's some folks inside right now starting the fire, and have a food metal bear box basically here where we'll put our food at night. This area is bear active, so we have to keep that in mind. This particular shelter does not have a privy, so every shelter that I've stayed at so far along this adventure has had a privy nearby. So what this one actually has is what they call a toilet area. There's actually a sign over here that says toilet area. So essentially, I think what they try to do is get everybody to go kind of to the same general vicinity, and dig a cat hole is basically what you do. 6 to 8 inches deep, 4 to 6 inches wide, blah, 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 and do your business. But there's actually a sign over here that says toilet area, and it kind of points you. So I haven't encountered that yet on trail. This is a first, so hopefully I won't need to dig a cat hole while I'm here, but if nature calls, I'm fully equipped to do so. But another beautiful day of hiking. We did a lot better than I thought we were going to do. I think taking that 0 yesterday as we were getting everything finalized for this adventure through the Smoky Mountains was beneficial. Legs felt good. Elevation wasn't as hard on us as we thought it might be, and so all in all it was a good day. So we're plotting out tomorrow. We're looking at shelters down the line. So the beauty of being out here is you make alternate plans. So you have a plan A, and we've already adjusted. So plan B was to come here to this shelter. So we'll look at the next couple of days and kind of plan that out. Weather seems decent for hiking the next few days, so we're gonna see if we can get up a little bit earlier maybe and get some more miles in, and see if maybe we can't trim a day off of this trip. We were planning on it taking us 6 days to get all the way through the 72 miles of the Smoky Mountains. That'd be a 12 mile average, obviously. So we'll just have to see how that goes. We'll play it by ear, but somewhere between 5 and 6 days for sure. So anyway, I don't know if I'll show any more on this particular video. It's been kind of long. I've done some pretty aggressive diatribes today as I've been hiking. Fontana Dam was just beautiful coming up out of there, and so forth. But you can just see around, just clear blue skies. It's a little bit of a haze. You probably can't see it, but there's still a little bit of a haze over here, which I know is from that wildfire. So hopefully it stays away and doesn't affect us any. But anyway, I'll shut up for now. I'm gonna go down. I've got my water kit right here, so I'm gonna go down to the water area just over this hill right here. I'm gonna go down there and get a little bit of water for tonight, and we'll see what else we get into.